This is what a dead Falken Wildpeak AT3W looks like when it's dead. End of life. These Wildpeak AT3Ws are 2 years old and have 40,000 miles on them, and you can see the tread is dead. It's completely flat, and it actually blew a hole in the middle there because the rubber is just so non-existent. So these are end of life Wildpeak AT3Ws. What they look like, they're going in the dumpster. And we're going to try a new all-terrain tire known as the Firestone Destination. Now, these Wildpeaks we had in our van. There they are in the rear. Now, that's a new one. And you can see the tread depth is pretty good there. We just put that on. Now, in the front here, we're going to switch to Firestone Destinations. And we'll kind of go through that today. But the front ones wore out at the normal 40,000 miles. That's what the internet says you should get out of these all-terrain tires, especially on a front-wheel drive vehicle like this Toyota Sienna. You're only expect to get 40,000 average life, but the rears do have tread left on them. The rear Falken Wildpeak AT3Ws. So we're going to put destinations on the front here, as you can see, and everything looks good. And while we do this, we're going to talk about both what was good about the Falken Wildpeak AT3Ws and what the Firestone Destinations feel like on road. Because a lot of people are going to want to know, what do the Firestones feel like, the Destinations feel like on road. Everybody knows that you're going to get some increased traction off-road with all-terrain tires, but they worry about the on-road feel. Now, if you're new to the channel, the Falken Wildpeak AT3Ws feel absolutely great on-road. They feel the same as a stock all-season, aka street tire. And so there's no problems there with the Falken Wildpeak AT3Ws. As far as punctures on the Falken Wildpeaks, in their 40,000 miles, I think the front two only had one puncture, but the rears probably got at least 4. So I want to say total punctures on all 4 Wildpeaks was, let's go with 6, at least. So it's not puncture proof, but I will say that nothing went through the sidewall, which is great because once you get a sidewall puncture, the tire's ruined. So they did their job. They held up, other than normal tread punctures, to 40,000 miles. Again, I'm speaking on the fronts only. So here we are manually putting on the Firestone Destinations with a normal tire changer. And we're going to go ahead and balance them. If you like to balance your tires at home like we do, you can get them spot on. And you'll never have to worry about wobbling, or, when you go to take your car to a tire shop sometimes and you drive and they wobble. That's honestly down to the tech doing a quick job, lazy job, incompetent job, whatever. The point is, if you do this yourself at home with your balancing machine, you can always be assured of that glass smooth ride. There we are, zeroed out. And the weights are in 2 places. And so there they are. The only thing left to do is to take these Firestones on the road. Yep, we got Firestone Destination in the front, Wildpeak AT3Ws in the rear. Because why not? Let's test out all the all-terrain tires on our minivan. So let's go for a test drive. That's the original Wildpeak on the rear there, still with tread left. Let's go for a test drive now and see how the Destinations feel. We're on washboard roads, as you see, so let's start off off-road. So this Sienna lives off-road, and it will spend more than the average car's life off-road, so keep that in mind when we talk about the lifespan of both tires, both the Falken Wildpeak AT3Ws and the Firestone Destinations. This thing has to do a lot of off-roading on these horrible washboard roads that you see here every single day. So they're going to live a rough life. So keep that in mind. In a moment here, we're going to be on road, and we'll talk about the relative on-road comfort. But if you wonder why we got all-terrains on our van, that's why. That road is no joke. It is a hard-packed washboard road, and these tires are going to live a tough life. So durability, more than anything, is the reason why we put all-terrain tires on our vehicle. So if you're in that camp, that should help you too. But let's talk about what you really want to know, or at least what most people want to know, and that is how the Firestones are going to handle on-road. Let's face it, most people get these tires for looks. Sorry, I had to say it, but that's just the truth. So you want to know, are your aggressive-looking tires going to be nice on-road? And I'm happy to report, yes. The bottom line is here that these Firestone destinations feel absolutely like normal street tires or road tires or all-season tires. It feels like we drove the Sienna right off the lot. They balanced out perfectly, as you saw. They zeroed out on the balancing machine, and there's absolutely no shake in the wheel. It feels like the tires that the Sienna came with. So the destinations feel exactly like street tires. That's the bottom line here. So if you're worried about feeling any sort of roughness or harshness or squirreliness on the road, it is simply not there. Keep in mind, this is a Sienna, so it's supposed to drive like a Sienna or a Camry, aka glass smooth. And they put a lot of rubber on the stock tires that come with the Sienna. In other words, when you get this vehicle on the lot, it comes with Falken tires, but they're road tires, and they're on the more, they're on the more street side than all season side. So if that doesn't make a lot of sense, they almost look like a racing tire. There's a lot of rubber and little pattern and little amount of grooves on them, so they can get the most miles per gallon. Because these Siennas, if you didn't know, are all hybrids. So what's my point of all this rambling? When you drive it off the lot, those tires feel great, glass smooth, and so do these particular Firestones. So if you're in the camp of most people, you're getting all-terrain tires for looks, whether you admit it or not. So you're concerned about how it's going to feel on road, and it's going to feel great. And again, I'm not judging anybody who gets all-terrains for looks. That's kind of why they exist. Before all-terrains, you had mud tires or all-season tires, and that was it. You didn't have this in-between type of tire. But manufacturers realize that some people do live in between, like us. We live off-road and on-road. But more importantly, people wanted the look of a, quote, off-road tire, a mud tire back then. But they wanted to drive them on the road. Please keep in mind that when you get an all-terrain tire, you're only getting about 10% better traction. It is not a snow tire. It is not a mud tire. You're not going to do any magical gripping. It's not night and day. It's about a 10% increase on loose sandy surfaces, gravel, and some harder stuff. That's it. The rest is all toughness, and which we like, and then all looks, which is what most people like. So do keep that in mind. These are meant to drive smooth on the road, and they deliver in that department without a doubt.
All right, something else you need to know about these Firestone destinations is they're nice and quiet on the road. Super quiet tire. It's just like a stock tire. In other words, the tire that came with the Sienna is just like a road tire. It's not like a KO2 that is, about 20% louder, a BFG KO2. These destinations are super quiet, the same as a Wildpeak AT3W. You hear nothing. There's no increase in sound at all. All right, so time will tell how long these Firestone destinations last. I'll keep everybody updated. For now, so far, so good. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a great, great day.